Welcome back, everyone. Ashton here with Absurd Exotics, and today I'm showing you how to make an isopod enclosure. So here I'm showing that there is one large hole and three smaller holes in the back that I've made, and I've got some stainless steel screen here, and I'm going to use that to cover the big hole in the front. I've pre-cut this to be the perfect size. You'll see fits on there great, and I'm going to use my trusty hot glue gun and secure that. So here's what I do. I take a little bit of the glue on each corner and I just melt it through the mesh. I make sure that it goes through the holes, through the mesh onto the plastic and secures that really nice and well. This ensures a pretty good seal and I just tack it each corner, lay it nice and flat, get the kitty cat out of there. Of course, God, what a guy. And then I just kind of connect the dots. So from one to the next, and I just seal it, and it does take a little bit of time, but it's worth it. Here, I'm just going to run a bead on the inside, and you'll see it looks pretty good front and inside, and I'm just going to kind of tidy that up myself a little bit. But this part's up to you, how pedantic you are, but I'm just going to cut it with my fingernail and kind of scrape away the extra strings and any of the excess glue that I don't want there. And as you see, looks pretty good, and small holes, and I did fix one corner I broke with hot glue. So there's that, and it's really ready to make your substrate. So here is the start of the substrate. I'm just going to mix it in the bin here. Here is the soil that I use. It's just from Canadian Tire. It seems to work pretty good, just a decent topsoil blend. And I'm going to mix it to start 50-50 with some flake soil that I made myself with some 10-week fermented wood pellets. It's a little dusty, but I've been using it for a while. I just dried it out so it wouldn't get moldy, and it does work really well. Isopods love rotted wood in their diet, so that's the main rot wood for these guys. This fir bark here is just to aerate the substrate and get some chunks in there so it doesn't compress too easily. It's not rotten and it doesn't really provide a whole lot of moisture or food. It's just kind of a substrate breaker upper, if you will. So add some of that, some more substrate breaking up with the play sand here. Just a little bit of this just helps keep everything loose so that it doesn't, again, compact too much. All these things that don't provide food for the isopods, I do try to keep to the minimum. I just add them there a little bit just to have them, but the main soil is obviously soil and flake soil. Then we are going to add some leaves too for food, but first I'm just going to break it up piece by piece. Some of the chunkies in the soil are a little big, so just break them with my fingers, nice and easy, and I'm just looking to get the right texture here. So I don't really have a whole lot of substrate in there, but I'm just mixing it through. I don't mind the consistency, but I'm going to add a little bit more soil, and then I'm going to add a little bit more flake soil just to even out the proportions, because the flake soil, like I said, is very, very important food for the isopods. So that's what I'm going to use there. And just a little bit more just for good luck. So there we are. And again, mix. Just mixing it through. A little bit here, a little bit there. Break up a couple of the chunks. Mix, mix, swirl. And it's all going well. So you'll see that it's kind of nicely striated between the soil and the flake soil. You can see the little textural varieties and the chunks, and it's a pretty good texture. It's not going to clump up really quick, but it should allow moisture to retain and wick through the soil pretty well. So there is the main soil blend. I'm still kind of working on it, but everyone uses different soil blends. This is just what I'm using right now. Here are my leaves that I'm going to use that I mentioned. These are pre-fermented. I just washed them in distilled water and kind of left them there to ferment after a bit and underwater so that any bugs or pests would be drowned. They're birch leaves that I collected myself from my yard. So they're pretty good. I've been using them for other isopods. They're super soft, super broken down, easy for the isopods to digest. So easy, I could probably even digest them. They're just that good. So I'm going to mix them in the soil. under the soil and throughout it. It also helps aerate, and it also ensures that they get food all throughout the soil because sometimes they'll burrow. This is pelletized lime. This is my calcium source. A little bit more there. I don't like to go too heavy with it because it is pretty alkaline, but it's important to have calcium for these guys as they are crustaceans. The sphagnum moss is another crucial step. So I do a hydration station in the corner. This is just a whole bunch of sphagnum moss that I keep moist at all times. If the sphagnum moss goes dry, the rest of the enclosure is also dry and the isopods will desiccate. So the more sphagnum moss, the merrier, especially for armadillidiums and other ones that like more humidity. These are a Vulgare. They are a magic potion isopod that's going in here. I am going to cover the last 3 holes here on the back just with some breathable medical tape, just because I don't want anything to go in or out of there, but I do want a little bit of airflow. So just going to secure that there, keep all the mancay inside, and you'll see there's my hydration station. I'm going to put a little bit of cork bark on the one side, more on the hydration, and then one kind of closer to the drier, more desiccant side. So they have got plenty of uh, options and they can do whatever they like there. So it's really ready for the isopods. They won't be getting out of there and it should be pretty set for them. This is going to be temporary. It is pretty small, but thanks for watching and I hope to see you guys again in the next one.